Yaqub, or the Israelites, shall be saved out of it. 8th verse. For it shall come to pass in that day. What day? The day of the time of Jacob's trouble, saith Yahweh of hosts, and hosts meaning his armies. One of his armies are the missiles. Another army are his angels. Another army are the Israelite men of 20 years and above. That I will break his yoke. Whose yoke? Yasha'Allah's yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds. And bonds literally mean they got paperwork on you through the Social Security card, through adhesion contracts, which is application. When you get a driver's license, you sign an application. It's not an application. It's an actual contract, because you sign off on it. They don't accept the paperwork unless you sign off on it, because you're making a contract with the local DMV. So that's an adhesion contract. It says, and strangers shall no more serve themselves on him. The strangers are the other nations. They're not going to be able to get over on us. We're going to be able to get over on them. See, right now you're slaves by way of paper. The old term, you sign your life away. Well, that's literally what we did. Now, ultimately, what these elites want to do is put a chip in you, whether it be by the jab that has nanotechnology in it, or whether it will be the chip, or whether it will be both. This is what this whole thing is about, to actually chip everybody. And you have to agree to do it. They can't just grab you up and put it in you. You have to agree to do it. Which means you made a contract with this man, which means that when the Most High comes, you're telling the Most High you don't want to be delivered by the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You love your master, which is Esau. So the Most High is going to leave you. So a lot of these jakes are not going to make it, because they're going to have what? They're going to have chips in them. GMS is the only group out there that's pushing this. No other group is pushing it. Now, mind you, they know it, but they're not pushing it. It says in the 9th verse, but they shall serve Yahweh their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. So we know that Jeremiah 30, the 30th chapter, has not come to pass, because David would have came back again. 10th verse, therefore fear thou not, O my servant Yaqub, which represent Israel, saith Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Yasha'Allah, for lo, I will save thee from afar. Because where are we? We're in America. We're in North, Central, and South America, in different parts from around the world. And thy seed, thy children, from the land of their captivity. The main captivity is right here in America. And Yaqub shall return and shall be in rest, which is the kingdom that goes hand in hand with Isaiah 14 verses 1 and 2. And be quiet, and none shall make him afraid, the Israelites afraid, because we're going to be in the kingdom. And we're going to be blessed with spiritual power. It says, for I am with thee, saith Yahweh, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations, whither I have scattered thee. Because the reason why we're over here in the Americas is because the Most High put us over here. We were scattered. Yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and that's what's happening now, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished, because the Most High is pulling the curses off us. Now, if you go back hardcore slavery, you know, if you had a choice to go in a time machine and be in hardcore slavery working in the field or being in this captivity, you would take this captivity. Because this captivity that we're currently in is not as bad as the captivity going back 100 plus years ago. So the Most High is slowly bringing the curses off of us. You know, Jake is doing good. You got Jakes that's doing better than Edomites. 12th verse. For thus saith Yahweh, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. 13th verse. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. And what is the thing that's going to bound us up and make us better? What is the ointment that's going to make us better? This truth. So we are like doctors, physicians. Thou hast no healing medicines. All thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy. Because the Most High looked at us as an enemy, like another nation, like a heathen nation, with the chastisement of a cruel one. And who did he use to chastise us? The other nations. The last nation that have chastised us or are chastising us to this very day are each of thine iniquities, because thy sins were increased. Why criest thou for thine afflictions? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquities, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto thee. Therefore, 16th verse, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. So those are all the nations. This is getting ready to happen. And all thine enemies, adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. Is Esau in captivity? Did Esau ever go into captivity after the time of King David? No. But in the coming future, they will go into captivity. So you can't get around these scriptures. We know that Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, has nothing to do with any time in history but now and the future, the near future. It said that every one of them nations that came up against you shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be spoiled, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. This is something that's getting ready to happen. For I will restore, health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds. When is this going to happen? When Yahweh Shai comes back with the angels. Saith Yahweh, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. And the fact that we call ourselves Israelites, we're demonized for that. Verse. Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places, and the city shall be built upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. It speaks about restoration of the house of David. And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving and the voice of them that make merry. We're going to be happy. And I will, Revelation 21 says that we're not going to cry anymore. In so many words. I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Talking about the Israelites. Their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. 21st verse, Jeremiah 30 verse 21, and their nobles shall be of themselves, and their governor shall proceed from the midst of them, and I will cause them to draw near, and he shall approach unto me. For who is this that engages his heart to approach unto me, saith Yahweh? And ye shall be my people. Who shall be the Most High's people? The Israelites. All you got to do is go back to the 3rd verse. For lo, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Yasha'Allah in Judah, and Yahweh. 22nd verse, Jeremiah 30 verse 22. And ye shall be my people, and I will be your power. Who is he talking to? The Israelites. Not some mixed multitude of other nations that believe. Behold, the whirlwind of Yahweh goeth forth with fury. And that whirlwind represents the ships, the chariots, the UFOs, so you can understand. A continuing whirlwind. It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. Who is the wicked? Malachi 1. Esau, the Edomites. The fierce, 24th verse and last verse. The fierce anger of Yahweh shall not return until he have done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it. What does the latter days represent? It represents the end days. So what's going to happen in the latter days? Jacob's trouble. Verse 7. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.